Welcome to Horror Boys. It's a podcast on the internet. I'm Austin, joined as always by
Chris.
And we are the Horror Boys. And this isn't any old podcast on this old internet. No, my friends. This is a horror movie review podcast where every week we review a horror movie.
Right?
So we're going to do that.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about a horror movie. I know, crazy.
Well, horror movie we're going to talk about.
Oh, you see, Chris, last week we talked about I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Oh,
so
okay.
this time we're going to still talk about that. Because it's I Still Know What You Did Last Summer.
Oh.
I know, crazy.
I've got a crazy memory.
Yeah.
I don't remember what I did last summer.
We started the podcast. We were doing the podcast.
Did we start?
We
the
started
podcast in the summer?
January of 2022, so
So it was
we were
not
doing the podcast in the summer, though.
Yeah.
We were talking about, like, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I think?
Yeah, it sounds about right.
At, like, the end of the summer. Like, the beginning of the summer, we had, like, Boy's Choice and, like, Hatchet. I think Hatchet was, like, June, Boy's Choice was July, and then Texas Chainsaw was, like, August, roughly? I think?
Sure.
I don't know. I'm making crap up, okay? But today, we're talking about I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, and this is still a 4th of July movie. Chris! This one is much less than the last one, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely.
This one is definitely more one that takes place on 4th of July, not one that is a 4th of July movie.
Yeah, I think this one they mention it once.
It's like 2 or 3 times, but yeah. Actually, might be like 5 or 6. It does come up. He does come up a few times for sure.
I don't know how I always only remember July 4th being mentioned once.
I don't know either.
I'm sure it'll be a trend in the third movie.
It does fit less of the themes of this movie than the last one, so I don't know how I forgot the themes of the last one, but it definitely is mentioned in dialogue, like, probably 5 times.
What are you talking about? A trip to the Bahamas is what everyone does for the 4th of July.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, if you win a quickie
it's
getaway.
definitely what some people probably do.
Yeah, when you win a quickie getaway from Magic 96.7.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's start.
Yeah, I guess we should do that.
Our director is Danny Cannon of Judge Dredd. And that is the Stallone one, not the whoever was in Dredd. This is the guy from The Boys, and also Lord of the Rings. I forgot his name. He plays the Butcher in Boys.
Oh, yeah.
He's Dredd in Dredd.
In the old Dredd?
No, the new Dredd.
Oh.
Like the 2011 one, he plays Dredd.
Ah.
Danny Cannon directed the Judge Dredd, which was the Stallone one back in the 90s. Or 80s. Late 80s. One of the two. Late 80s, early 90s. Not important. Normally I don't tell you about people who aren't horror boys, so let's move on. Our writer is Trey Calloway. That's it. They didn't really do anything else.
Kevin Williamson did not return to this movie.
And you can tell.
Yeah.
I spoiler, I still enjoyed the movie somewhat, but, you know, it's definitely not as good as the first one. And I definitely think a big part of that is the lack of Kevin Williamson. Our composer is John Frizzle of the Frizzle family. You know his sister, Mrs. I think we made the joke last time he was on a podcast that he was related to Mrs. Frizzle as well.
From the Magic School Bus?
Yes,
correct.
Yes. He did, but to be fair, we only mentioned his name and none of the work he did, so let's tell you about that. He also composed Office Space, Ghost Ship, Alien Resurrection, Teaching Miss Tingle, speaking of Kevin Williamson, that was a movie he made, 13 Ghosts, and is a Horror Boy alum for Texas Chainsaw 3D and Leatherface. Yet we did not mention any of his stuff on those. Just his name, not what he did.
Yeah.
Oops.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Our Horror Boy... he is. But
DP.
Our director of photography is the Horror Boy alum, Vernon Layton of Seed of Chucky. I think he also, did some, cameras... Did something, but not director of photography, some other camera stuff on Curse of Chucky, the one after it. Our production designer is the late Doug Craner. Our special makeup effects are done by Clinton Wayne of Soul Survivors, 10 Cloverfield Lane, Army of Darkness, Deep Blue Sea, Bedazzled, Grimm, Norbit, Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, and The Tuxedo, alongside Horror Boy alum Jennifer Love Hewitt of I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Huh?
And also, we have the returning Matthew W. Mungle, also doing special makeup effects.
Ooh, Mungle.
Yeah, our boy Mungle. I don't know him, but he's our boy.
Yeah.
I've now said it, and he is now our boy. If he ever shows up again, he will be known as our boy Matthew W. Mungle, but also he won't be because I will not remember I said that.
Yeah.
I will not remember I said that at the end of this podcast, let alone if we ever cover another movie with Matthew W. Mungle. Our special effects supervisor is the returning John D. Milanak. Our special effects coordinator is of Mexico. Because a lot of the movie shot in Mexico, is the one who did the Mexico special effects coordination was
Gotcha.
Laurencio Cordero of Predator and Romancing the Stone, alongside Horror Boy alum the late Ted White, who was Jason in Friday the 13th, the final chapter.
Wow.
One of the better Friday the 13th films. Some would say the best, and I wouldn't argue against it, even if it's not my opinion. Our stunt coordinator is the returning Freddie Heiss. Our visual effects supervisor is Allison Savage of Terminator 2 Judgment Day, Piranha 3D, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, Dogma, From Dusk Till Dawn 3, Scary Movie, Green Lantern, and The Grudge 2, alongside Horror Boy alums Sean Sipos of Final Destination 2 and Texas Chainsaw 3D, and Sarah Michelle Gellar of Scream 2 and I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Allison also, did that, did The Grudge too. Good for her.
There you go.
Yeah. So let's talk about the movie itself now.
Let's do
You
that.
cool with that? Or should we just stop? I think we should stop here.
Yeah.
If we stop
we got
here,
through the pre-notes.
yeah, if we're done with pre-notes, we don't ever cover the movie, we don't have to cover next week's movie.
Well, actually, I will have to take a break because of my birthday. I'm going to Corpus Christi, so who knows if that other I Know What You Did Last Summer movie ever comes out.
I'm pretty sure we'll find time to record it.
Yeah, no, we will, sadly.
We open with some sound bites from the original that transition into our title card. Woo, title card. Then we're in a beautiful Catholic church. Julie James walks up the pews and heads into the confessional. She tells the priest about the events of the previous 2 summers. He replies, "I know." Before we get the reveal that it's the fisherman Ben Willis who attacks her, but she wakes up screaming in class because it was all a dream. Bum,
So
bum.
scary.
The end of the movie, it was all a dream. It's a very short film. It's one scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Julie James is played by the returning Jennifer Love Hewitt, and Ben Willis is played by the returning Muse Watson. Because this movie understood what a sequel was, and it had a bunch of returning cast members. And, the same kind of plot. Unlike the movie we're going to be watching next week.
Yeah.
I'm just going to get out all my hatred for that movie before we even watch it. Even though I haven't even seen it, but I just know about it, and I know enough about it to be mad.
Yeah.
Her professor says, "Nice to see you find." Oh, sorry. I guess I'll be the professor for this scene at least. And for our Horror Boys theater, as we'll call it only here and probably never again, I will be reprising my role of Julie. You will be reprising your role of Ray. I will also be doing Tyrell, while you will be doing Will and Carla. And other characters will just fill in when they're there. But those ones, those are our specific people we'll be playing. I forgot to tell you that at the top. You will be playing Will, Carla, and Ray. I know it sounds crazy. Chris has 3 and I only have 2. But that's because Ray's sidelined for the whole movie and not part of it.
Yeah, he's in 5 or 4 scenes of the movie.
And he's in 6 scenes, I think, and 4 of them are by himself. Well, I mean, there's other actors in it, but no one from the movie that matters.
Nope.
He is off on his own doing Ray things.
Yeah, Ray's living his best life.
No, I mean, he really isn't, actually, but we'll get to that when we get to that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the professor says, nice to see you.
Oh,
okay.
right.
You can go.
Well,
no, you took it.
Since, you're James.
Oh.
Miss Julie James.
I don't think she even talks in this scene, so it doesn't matter. But, sure, you can just do the line, Chris.
Okay. Nice to see you find political science so stimulating, Miss James.
She gets up and leaves class, but is followed by her friend Will. Her professor is played by the late Dan Priest. Will is played by Matthew Settle of Ouija, alongside Horrorboy alums the editor, Ken Blackwell of Friday the 13th 09, Douglas Smith of Santa Slay, and Lynn Shay of Nightmare on Elm Street 3 and New Nightmare.
Will says, Julie, wait, you okay?
Julie replies, I'm fine.
Will asks, you sure?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You don't seem fine.
I had another dream, Will.
The one in the shower?
No, in a church. It was so real. I mean, I could feel his breath on me. And you know, I thought the dreams were over. I really did. I mean, I hadn't had one for months.
It takes time, Julie. It'll get better.
Can't get much worse. I mean, it's not the first time that I freaked out in class. Well, I can't study. I don't get any sleep. And I'm this close to failing. She then screams when she's spooked by a guy on a bike who drops firecrackers saying, Happy 4th of July! Because it's 4th of July, Chris.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not yet. It's about to be 4th of July.
This
guy's actually wrong. Guy on the bike is wrong. It is not 4th of July yet. Do not randomly drop your firecrackers off your bike like you normally do on 4th of July. Wait.
Yeah.
Hold on. Wait, that's actually weird behavior even if it was 4th of July.
I would agree, yeah.
After taking a moment to compose herself, Julie says, It was 1 year ago.
It's the anniversary. That's what this is. You just gotta take it easy on yourself.
Yeah, well, I'm really trying, Will. But you know what? But sometimes I wonder why I even came up here in the first place.
To get out of Southport.
Right. Now I remember. So you getting out of town for the 4th?
No, I'll probably just be here studying for finals. The joys of summer school.
Right.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
You sure?
Yes.
You're definitely okay.
Julie laughs. See, I thought about laughing,
Yeah.
but I thought it'd be funnier to just say Julie laughs. And then she says, Yes, I'm definitely okay. Look, thanks for the talk, Will. You're good to me. You know that?
I am?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll see you later.
Okay, bye. They go their separate ways.
Yeah.
Julie runs
I
into...
will say the interaction here is like a little bit awkward.
Yeah.
She they're not romantic interests, even though it's like kind of implied that they are.
See, I'll be
but
honest,
she's
this
apparently
first
with
scene,
Ray.
I thought that this was her new boyfriend with the way she's like, You're so
Yeah.
good to me, and she touches
And then
his
she
face.
she grabs his cheek.
She goes
and it's
full
like,
Anakin
is
Skywalker
happening?
and says, not like here with you, and he, caresses his face.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, then they go their separate ways, and Julie runs into Ray, who says,
Julie.
Ray? Hi, what are you doing here? She hugs him.
I got in early. Who's that guy?
Oh, that's Will. He's a friend. You'd like him.
Yeah.
Ray, we're just friends.
Hey, every guy in history who tried to pick up on a girl did the good friend thing first. You ready to go? Look, I got my truck. You know the drill. There's a crab boil at Ollie's, a Croaker Queen pageant. It's a small town fun, but it's still nice.
Ray, I can't.
You can't what?
I feel like there's this small part of me that hasn't healed up enough to go back. So please understand.
Yeah, I understand.
It's not like that, Ray. It's not you. Okay? It's not you. It's all me in my head, I want to go back. I want to be fine. I want to be with you. And I want everything to be like it was. It just isn't. Why don't you stay up here, Fireworks over the river. A million little things to do.
I have to work, Julie. My boat's in Southport, remember? But hey, it's cool. You need your space from Croaker Land. Then Probably for me too.
He walks away as Julie calls out after him. She says to herself, I'm scared, that's all. We cut to her arriving at her massive apartment for a college student.
Yeah, it is kind of massive.
With multiple door locks. She sets down her keys and pepper spray. See, because she's, still reeling from the last movie.
Mm-hmm.
We get a shot that follows her into the kitchen and then to her room, where she looks at a picture of Helen on the Crooked Queen float from the last movie.
Oh.
I will say that my dad pointed out that's weird that that's the picture she has of Helen, from the day she died, not like the year before where she won and was happy. No, it's from the day she happened to be on the float right before she died.
Yeah.
It was a good picture. You gotta remember that day.
Yeah, I just remember, like, she died yesterday.
She wasn't even there that day for that picture. This isn't even a memory she has.
Nope.
Also, we watched that movie. Helen looked nervous the whole time she was up there. There was no time for her to look happy and take this picture like this. But whatever. Julie then takes a nap. We cut to her being woken up by the sound of her front door closing. After a somewhat tense but obvious false alarm scene, where she finds out it's just her roommate, Carla, they both scream. Carla is played by singer and actress Brandy Norwood of Moesha, The Game, and Osmosis Jones alongside Horror Boy alum Lawrence Fishburne of Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's it. She's here. Julie asks, with a knife still in her hand, "What are you doing in my closet?"
I thought you were out of town.
"What the hell are you doing in my closet?"
I thought you were out of town. I just wanted to borrow your black skirt, but I'm not ready to die for it.
Jesus, Carla. That was like heart attack time.
Can I have the knife, please? Julie, I really think you should come out with me tonight.
I don't think so. I just tried to stab you with a knife, Carla. I hardly feel like dancing.
What's the matter?
I think I just hurt Ray's feelings.
Julie, listen to me, okay? Ray is a great guy. Nothing against old Ray, but he's so... Ray. I mean, he lives in Southport, Julie. Will is a nice guy who lives right down the street.
Yeah, but there's nothing between Will and me.
Yeah, I just caress his face casually when we talk.
As I do with my friends.
All of my friends. Carla says, Nothing yet. Nothing yet. And you know what? We have to keep moving. I'm working at the club tonight, and you, Dancing Queen, are coming with me.
No, I'm not.
At the club.
No, you say yes, you are.
Oh. Yes, you are.
They both repeat that a couple times before we cut to the club. Gosh.
Here we are at the club.
Yeah, at the club, we meet Carla's boyfriend, Tyrell. Tyrell is played by Mekhi Phifer? Of Dawn of the Dead 04, Honey, 8 Mile, ER, the Divergent film series, and Shaft, the 2001, alongside Horror Boy alums the late Daniel Von Bargen of The Faculty, Lee Tergesen of Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning, and Toni Collette of Hereditary. Should have won an Oscar. She did not. Wasn't even nominated.
Yeah. Pretty goofy.
Yeah. Tyrell wants to play harmonica with Carla. Carla ends the conversation. And by the way, I said it like that because I was not going to have me and Chris role play a man trying to get a girl to sleep with him. I mean, play harmonica with him. I'm sorry, that felt a little too awkward because none of the conversation really matters. It was just, yo, I want that harmonica basically, and I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna.
And don't worry, there'll be another scene like that.
And don't worry, I also don't have it written down. It's like something like this because I'm sorry, I'm not role playing with the teleplay style. Me and Chris trying to get musical together.
It's not gonna happen. Sorry, guys.
Sorry for the fanfic people out there that might exist someday. You'll have to write that on your own. I'm not having us say the lines.
Oops.
Carla ends the conversation saying,
Huh.
Tyrell wants to play harmonic with Carla. Carla ends the conversation saying,
Yeah. Do me a favor. Ask Julie.
Tyrell says, "You know, Jules, you're the most beautiful woman in the bar tonight." Julie replies, "You know, Ty, you are an unstoppable force of nature." Tyrell responds, "You better recognize. You see, that's how my species survives. You'll never convince me otherwise. So what's up? Want to dance?"
Carla says, "Say yes."
Julie says, "No."
No means yes. Don't listen to her.
Julie says, "Look,
Bitches.
yeah. I think she means in this specific situation. This is not
Right.
advice in general for the audience." Oh, gosh. Julie says,
Yeah.
"Look, Ty, I really appreciate it. But have you seen my people dance? I mean, we do the mouth thing, snap the fingers." Tyrell says, "Hey, worst comes to worst, you can just stand there and watch me."
Carla says, "You know what? I have an idea. Why don't we all take a break and go dance?"
They head over to the dance floor.
Carla says, "Ooh, what do you know? Will Benson looking fine."
Will waves at them. Julie asks. Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome.
For our audio listeners, Chris waved. Julie asks, "Carla, did you tell him I was going to be here?"
No. I told him that you would absolutely not be at this bar between 10 and 11. And then he came anyway. Hi, Will. What's up? Will says, "This wasn't my idea."
Julie asks, "What?"
Will says, "I said this wasn't my..." And Carla says, "Let's go."
Tyrell says, "You'll be fine. Do your thing."
Carla says, "Be good, Julie." And Will asks, "You want to get a drink?"
Julie says, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I do this part.
Uh-huh.
Will leaves Julie to go get a drink. Julie looks up to the balcony and sees the fisherman! Ah!
Ah!
She starts to head over to investigate. Somehow, all of her friends see her moving through the dark club.
Yeah.
She looks back up, and the fisherman is gone. We see the shadow of the fisherman approaching her, but when she turns around, there's nothing there.
Oh, scary.
Yeah. Speaking of scary, she's startled by Will, who's caught up with her and says,
You see something back there?
Julie replies, "Yeah, you know what? I'm really sorry, Will. But I've got to go home right now. I'm really sorry." We cut to Julie waking up the next morning. She goes to the kitchen where Carla is drying her tennis shoes. She reprimands her for it. But just remember, drying her tennis shoes, maybe that'll be relevant again later in dialogue. And that's why I made sure it was mentioned here, even though it doesn't matter here. The phone starts to ring. Carla grabs it saying,
Ooh, that's Ty. Thanks.
Julie says, "My number's unlisted."
Carla says, Will you relax? We've been dating for 3 months, and he is not a stalker.
Carla answers, but it's not Tyrell on the phone. It's Ghostface! Wait, no. It's Mark in the Morning from Magic 96.7 radio station. Carla yells.
Carla yells, Oh my god, Julie! It's Mark in the Morning. Put on the speakerphone. Hi, Mark. I'm Carla. Carla Wilson.
"Well, Carla, what are you doing home on the long 4th of July weekend?"
Carla says, well, actually, I'm in school.
"Well, how would you like to win a Magic 96.7 Quickie Getaway?"
Carla responds, Hell yeah.
Mark continues, "You'll have to remember your geography because all you have to do to win is tell me the capital of Brazil."
Okay, Brazil. The capital of Brazil.
Come on, Carla. One easy question, one great getaway. Carla, we need an answer. No looking it up. The girls look around their apartment for clues. Julie finds some coffee from Rio, and so Carla answers,
Okay, Rio de Janeiro.
"Oh no, did you say Rio?"
No, yes.
"You just won a Magic 96.7 Quickie Getaway to the island of the Bahamas. We'll call you back with all the details. So what's your favorite radio station?" Both
Magic
girls yell. Oh, I
96.7.
was gonna, because we have to both
No.
say it, so I was gonna give us like the
Yeah.
time to be ready to say it.
Oh, okay.
Both girls yell. Magic 96.7.
96.7.
We suck, Chris. The girls
we
both
did it at the
scream
same
for a
time.
bit before Carla says,
Okay. Who am I gonna take? Let's see. Tyrell, my parents, his cousins.
Julie says, wait a second. Me?
You know what? Mark said 4 tickets, so you have to think of someone to bring.
We cut to Ray at the docks. Dave tells him he got a call. It's Ghostface. Wait, no, it's Julie.
No, man.
I wish it was Ghostface. I wish this was a Scream. I wish I was watching Scream right now.
Fair.
Dave is played by John Hawkes From Dusk Till Dawn, Freaked, Night of the Scarecrow, Future Kill, and Season 2, Episode 19 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, titled I Only Have Eyes for You, where he plays George, who was a student who was possessed by ghosts, to reenact the tragic love story that led to their deaths. On the phone, Julie says, hi.
Ray says, "Hey, I'm really glad you called. I'm sorry."
You shouldn't be sorry. Dave mocks Ray by making two fishes kiss.
Ray says, "I shouldn't have left so fast. I just..." He mouths, "Obscenity off." Towards Dave.
Julie says, Ray, listen. Carla just wanted a trip to the Bahamas. This island called Tower Bay. And she wants us to go with her.
The Bahamas? Really?
You know, it would be a great chance for us to hang out for the weekend. Just sitting in the sun, drinking fruity drinks, swimming, and then she does like this tongue click thing that I can't do, and then says, well, it's like the I can't do it. I can't roll my R's, and then you need to roll your R's to be able to do it. I'm clinically tongue-tied. Thank you, Chris. Yeah. I am tongue-tied. I literally cannot roll my R's.
Yeah, you're born to be white.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
I mean, yeah, kind of in a way. Yeah, you're not wrong. It would have been really hard if I was born tongue-tied in a culture or language where you do have to roll your R's.
Yeah.
But yeah, it means I can't do the, so you do the sound.
Oh, yeah, the...
Yeah, I can't do that sound.
You're not missing much.
Yeah, but for the sake of this...
Now, if you were speaking Spanish, you'd be missing.
Now, Chris, don't get me wrong. I don't need it. But I wish I could have done it, because I want to just point out that this scene is some of the weirdest,
writing,
facial acting, and, and that's something I really noticed throughout this movie in general, especially from Jennifer Love Hewitt, is she just does these really weird, smiles and laughs at moments that don't quite make sense, and you're like, all right, J-Love, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's funny.
It's kind of great, and I love it. It's genuinely, it adds to the movie for sure. And this is definitely one of those moments when she goes, well, it's just she's got this big old smile on her face, and it's so cheesy. I love it. She then chuckles. Ray asks,
this weekend?
Yeah?
So you can go away with your college friends, but you can't go away with me.
Ray, it's not you. It's Southport. And God, it's the Bahamas, Free?
Scarlett says, you have to sell his butt on the Bahamas?
Julie says, listen, I really want us to be together.
Julie, listen, we're in the middle of a really big run-up here, and it's been crazy. I think we have to go back out again tonight. I don't think I can make it.
Will you try? For me? Please?
Look, yeah, I'll try, but listen, if I don't make it up there, you go ahead. Have a great time.
Ray, for me, try. Please. I really miss you.
I miss you too.
Okay. Bye. Ray hangs up and Dave says, dude, what is your problem? We haven't cut anything for days. Pull that big ugly stick out of your butt. She asked you to go to the Bahamas. Obscenity it, man. You gotta go. Hey, man, I'll ride up with you. Kick it with my homies in Cambridge. What were you thinking, man?
I'll show you what I've been thinking.
He pulls out an engagement ring. Dave says, whoa, great. Dang. Thanks, but I'll need a little time to think about it. Nice fit, huh?
Ray says, "Yeah, listen, I should call Julie back. Tell her that I'm coming."
On the way, man. Surprise her. She'll be psyched.
Yeah, alright. Clean up.
Back to Julie, where Carla says,
Julie, will you please forget about Ray? That boy has got fish on the brains, okay?
yeah, but
But nothing. Where are we going?
the Bahamas. Carla starts to tickle Julie and says,
Where are we going? Where are we going, Julie?
they both laugh. We cut to Ray and Dave on the road, rocking out to Here I Go Again by Whitesnake.
Yeah.
Ray says,
Hey, try the harmony.
you try the harmony, I'll lead.
You're going to lead? You suck.
Listen to you, man. I sound just like the dude. Listen. And I've made up my mind.
Ray laughs. You don't sound anything like that guy.
Are you deaf?
Obscenity you.
I'm quitting the band, man. Going solo. Ray starts to chuckle and then notices something in the road and says,
Oh, poop.
they see a car in the middle of the road with a man on the ground. Dave says, what are you doing, man? Let's just go find a phone.
No,
Come on. The guy looks dead, man.
maybe not.
He goes out to investigate. Dave says, what are you doing, man? He moves to the driver's seat and continues, this is obscenity up, man. Ray walks up to the body and sees it's a man in a slicker. When he turns the head, he sees it's actually a mannequin. He turns around and sees Dave get hooked in the mouth and pulled out of the truck. The fisherman then gets in the truck and runs Ray off the road, causing him to roll down a hill and getting knocked out. Bum bum bum. And so begins Ray Things.
Yep. And
Stay tuned for the Ray side of the story.
see him again
He will
in about
not,
an hour.
He will not make it back with the crew because we needed no one to believe Julie when it happened again. I know, crazy.
Yeah.
It would have, been so weird for there to be one person on our side and, the star of the other movie to return who's in the movie. But, whatever. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, no, this was better.
Yeah.
We cut to the girls waiting outside for Tyrell and maybe Ray to show up. It's not Ray. Ray's not showing up, guys. Carlos says,
Girl, it's getting down to the wire.
he's not coming. I just thought
Julie, you left him 4 messages. 4 messages.
he said he'd try.
Julie, you left him.
No,
Nope.
try.
Julie, you left him 4.
No, you already said that, Carlo.
Try is like maybe, Julie. Try is bull poop. Bull poop.
He does work hard.
Work hard, my butt. Julie, he's only breaking your heart because he can. And I don't want to be the one to say I told you so.
Then don't. Oh my god. Tyrell drives up with Will in the car. Tyrell says, what's happening, lovers? What's going on? Are we going to the tropical or are we going to the are we going to get tropical or are we going to get tropical?
Yeah, that's certainly his line. And Carla says, Julie, please, I'm really sorry about Will. But I mean, he's my friend too. And I don't want a ticket to go to waste. So where there's a will, there's a way.
It's a good line.
So let's start having fun now.
I will say.
Okay, come on.
That's a good line. Where there's a will, that's a good line. I respect that. I respect. Who wrote this movie? Trey Calloway. Good line. I respect the where there's a will line. Thank you for writing that in. Also, if it was you who wrote in the little tongue click sound, also credit to you. If that was a direction move or just something Jennifer Love Hewitt decided to do, I would have believed that Jennifer Love Hewitt, all the weird decisions she made was just her going, I'm going to do this. And the director was like, you know what? I'm not getting paid enough. This is fine. Yep. Nope. Great. Next scene.
Yeah.
And he was like, you seem like the biggest dork in the world right now, but you are also one of the hottest women in the world right now, so it's gonna work. Just fine. We'll go with it.
Yeah.
There were many times where I would just went, like, as I was like paused in the scene to write down the lines, I just looked up. I was like, "Geez, she is way too beautiful," and then I went back to writing my notes. So what I'm trying to say is, hey, Jennifer Love Hewitt, if you ever see this, hit me up. What? Just trying to shoot my shot, you know.
Oh, okay.
I never know if I'm gonna get the chance to meet my girl
You
J
miss
Lo.
100% of the chances. You
don't.
100% of the shots.
And what if I do meet Jennifer Love Hewitt? And she's
like, "I saw that
single, and it's
podcast
like,
you
I
were-"
saw your podcast, and you said, and then she goes, Christy the Sound, and I'm like, oh my gosh!
Oh god.
And now I've lost any chance of ever meeting Jennifer Love Hewitt because now she has seen
so
the podcast and is not gonna meet me.
No, it's not likely.
Where was I?
Tyrell
asked Julie, right? All right. So is there a problem? Julie chuckles and responds, "No, there's no problem because we are all going to the Bahamas." Woo! Yeah! We cut to the plane, where Will says,
Pull for emergency exit. I'm on the wrong row. I shouldn't be in this row.
"Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You know what? Take deep breaths. Think of something happy from your childhood."
What if I don't have anything happy from my childhood? I'm sorry, I can't relax going 500 miles an hour.
Deep breaths.
Fumes build up in the fuel tanks. You can buy surface-to-air missiles over the internet. Planes fall out of the sky for practically no reason at all.
You would have a better chance of getting hit by lightning.
Planes get hit by lightning. They get hit by meteors. They get hit by other planes.
You're gonna get hit all right if you don't quit bad womaning. Deep breaths.
Carla says, "Some folks just can't fly." We cut to them on. Oh no, yep, that's
you can take that line of description if you want.
And we cut to them on the ferry on the remote Tower Bay Island.
Sorry, on the ferry to the remote.
On the ferry to the remote.
They're not on the
Tower
ferry
Bay
on remote that Chris. I mean,
They're on a ferry on an island.
Okay.
What's
Julie
doing
and Carla are doing their best Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet impression on the front of the boat.
You're here.
No, it's the I'm the king of the world.
Yeah, but that's the song that plays.
Yeah, but I'm the king of the world. They don't play the song here. They just say the line.
That's true.
Say the line, Bart. Tyrell is puking on the side of the boat, and Will says,
Just breathe, Tyrell.
"Man, get away from me."
You see, it's not a macho thing. It's about equilibrium in your inner ear. I mean, you could just have used the patch, but it's too late now. You just got to get used to it. Some folks just can't sail.
The ferry captain. Paulson.
That's a callback because earlier Carla
literally
said
like
some folks just can't
half
fly.
a scene ago.
Remember 30 seconds ago? Probably.
I will
not.
say that was kind of funny writing to immediately show the juxtaposition of both of them, but I wouldn't call it even a callback. It is literally an immediate juxtaposition.
Yeah.
The ferry captain, Paulson, says, "It's too bad, too, because it's the only way on and off the island. Unless you have an accident, then they call the Coast Guard."
Will says, "Well, it looks pretty remote, doesn't it?"
"Yeah, but that's what the tourists pay for. Sun, sea, and solitude." Tyrell asked, "How much longer, man?" The captain replies, "A few more minutes, kid. Hang in there. Don't hold back. Let it out. Just watch the boat." Paulson is played by the late Red West of Roadhouse and Natural Born Killers, and was also the friend and bodyguard of Elvis Presley.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Eventually he got fired, they had a falling out, and he wrote a book trying to somewhat save Elvis's life, all about Elvis's drug addiction, trying to be like, hey, he's got a problem, someone help him. So yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. They're helped onto the dock by Derek, who with a thick Jamaican accent says, "You go, Chris. You do the thick Jamaican accent. I don't want to do it."
Oh. Yeah. Is this Jack Black's character?
Nope, this is Derek. This is the dockhand, the African-American man who pretends to be Jamaican for a scene.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Ladies, if there's anything I can do to make your stay more pleasurable here, please don't hesitate to ask. My name is Derek, and I will be at your service for the duration of your stay, ladies.
Paulson, in a mocking tone, says, Duration of your stay, ladies. Derek, dropping the accent, says.
Listen, old man, I've got to work fast. The season's almost over.
Paulson says. If the radio's right about the weather, you're already out of time. Derek walks away and Paulson flips the sign that says the last ferry is at 6 while saying, "Old man, my butt." We follow the main characters further into the resort. The hotel they shot in Jalisco, Mexico, had been abandoned for 4 years due to earthquake damage. The director claims it's haunted.
Ooh.
Tyrell says, "Oh, we are here. We have arrived in paradise."
And here comes Jack Black.
Yeah, one of the staff, I want to play Jack Black. One of the staff,
Yeah.
a white man with dreadlocks named Titus, sees them. He tries to get their attention and heads over to them. Titus is played by Jack Black of Tenacious D, Kung Fu Panda films, Peter Jackson's King Kong, the official remake of the movie. That last part's not actually there. It's a reference to how stupidly named the game is. The new Jumanji movies, School of Rock, the Super Mario Brothers movie, Nacho Libre, and Chris's fifth favorite DreamWorks movie for some reason, Shark Tale, alongside Horriboy alum Renee Zellweger of Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation. Just had to, crap on you for that real quick.
Hey, Shark Tale's fun.
All right. Tyrell says, "You gotta be pooping me. Look at this cat." "Yo, what's up, my brother?"
Will says, "Hey, Tyrell, I think we found your brother."
Tyrell says, "I think we found your brother." Titus, seeing Julia, says, "Dang, you know what I was saying? Are you looking for some bud? I got some bat guano. I got the cream jeans. Listen, anything you guys need, Titus got."
No, thank you. But thank you very much.
"What's up? Everybody needs something. What about the ladies, the sweet young ladies? Is there anything I can do?"
Take a bath.
"Oh, dang, that's cold, woman. All right. Listen, if you need some weed, I'll get with you later." And I will say, Kevin Black is being the most Kevin Black. Jack Black is being the most Jack Black can be. And if you don't like Jack Black, you will hate Titus. If you like Jack Black, you still might not love Titus. If you really like Jack Black, you might enjoy Titus.
Yeah.
I fall into the more you might enjoy, but I completely understand the still a little irritated or the absolutely hates it camps, because this is the most Jack Black can be.
Yeah, it is pretty turned up.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that because I enjoy Jack Black enough, and I don't think he's in the movie enough to personally overstay his welcome. He's only in a few scenes, and none of them go too long.
Yeah,
so I'm cool with it. I like my boy Titus. But yeah. Bum. The gang heads into the deserted lobby. Carla rings the bell multiple times, calling out.
Hello?
Julie asks, "Where is everyone?"
That's a good question.
Julie sees a maid who ignores her when she tries to get her attention. The maid, Olga, is played by Ellerine Harding. Tyrell gets scared by a dog behind the counter. Carla starts to ring the bell again, but she's stopped when Mr. Brooks grabs her hand. Mr. Brooks is played by Jeffrey Combs of The Frighteners, Castle Freak, Dr. Mordred, Faust, the Reanimator series, and House on a Haunted Hill, alongside Horriboy alums Robert Kurtzman, Greg Nicotero, and Howard Berger, the makeup artist can be effects groups of everything. Chris Kattan of Santa's Sleigh, Ali Larder of Final Destination 1 and 2, Famke Jensen of The Faculty, and Bridget Wilson-Sampras of I Know What You Did Last Summer. Mr. Brooks asks, "What can I do for you?" I don't know that voice. Well, that's not at all the voice he went for. That's the voice I went for, guys.
What can I do for you?
Yeah. He's definitely not that menacing either. He's...
Yeah.
What can I do for you? I can't do a voice. I cannot do Jeffrey Combs' voice. I'm sorry. So I'm just going to do my normal voice. What can I do for you?
Carla replies, "Checking in. Carla Wilson."
"Oh, yes. Well, let's roll out the red carpet. Our contest winners are finally here. Last name first, first name last." Tyrell says, "Nice dog you got there, man." Mr. Brooks replies, "Not really. Found pieces of guys like you in his stool." Some oddly underlying racism here for a scene that I don't feels out of nowhere, but thankfully they don't delve too deep into it. Tyrell asks, "You got a problem or something?" Mr. Brooks replies, "I don't have a problem in the world, pal."
Julie trying to break attention.
Yeah, maybe you should have been Mr. Brooks. Like, mostly, I thought I was like, oh, remember Carla talks to him first, but apparently everyone else talks to him. Every one of my characters then talks to him. Julie says, "This is such a beautiful old hotel, don't you think?" And now Mr. Brooks' voice is going to change, and Chris is going to go,
"It was built in the 1930s for one of the Rockefeller clan. The tiles are imported from Spain. There's a lot of history here. Judy Garland spent the night here. President Nixon."
Tyrell says, Okay. We understand, we get it, it's old.
"It will outlive you, I'm sure. Wilson, Carla." "Oh." Carla says, "Oh, what?" Mr. Brooks says, "You're in 201 and 202. Carla asks, "Is that a bad thing?" "No, not at all. Not at all. Those are our honeymoon suites."
Julie asks, "You're what?"
"Honeymoon suites. I take it you kids haven't exchanged vows, have you?"
"We haven't exchanged anything."
Carla says, "Julie, come on. We're taking suites. That'll be fine with us."
Sweets.
"Yeah, we're talking suites. That'll be fine with us." Mr. Brooks says, "During your stay, our marginally trained off-season staff of 5 will attend to your every need." And Carla says, "Wait a minute. Did you just say off-season?" Mr. Brooks replies, It's the 4th of July weekend. The storm season begins today. Clouds roll in like clockwork."
Storm season?
"Yes, it's our version of winter."
He passes them their keys and continues.
"That's 201 and 202. Scrabble and Parcheesi are in the lounge. Enjoy."
In the hall.
In the hall.
Carla says. I don't know what we both
"Ain't nothing
said.
free in this world." Everybody says it, and it's true. I wanted you guys to have a great trip.
Tyrell says, "Baby, we will. Don't worry about that. We've got the whole island to ourselves."
And Will says, "Plus, it's been blue skies all day. It might be the whole weekend."
Julie says, "Guys, this is us, 202. Estes brings their bags over and says, 201, 202. We don't use these much." Julie asks, "Really? Why is that?" "No reason in particular. It's just that these are fancy rooms for kids your age."
Not why. Carla says, "Yeah, well, we won a competition."
"Oh, and what did you have to do?" Tyrell says, "Guess the capital of Brazil." Carla.
Rio, baby."
"That's right. Ah, good for you, girl. And, where would you like I put your bags?"
And Carla says, you can put their stuff in there, and ours back here."
Julie says, "Carla, you promised."
"And I promised Tyrell."
"Julie, what's up? You're killing me."
"Julie, look. If it's cool, I can sleep on the couch. That way they can have the same room and practice that real honeymoon. I'll take this."
He tries to grab the bag, but Essa says, No, I'll be doing this. I've been doing this since before you were a gleam in your father's eye."
Will asked Julie, "You sure it's cool with you?"
"Yeah, sure. As long as you promise not to snore."
"If I get out of hand, you can toss something at me."
Estes is played by Bill Cobbs of Demolition Man, That Thing You Do, New Jack City, Air Bud, Night at the Museum, and The People Under the Stairs, alongside Horrorboy alums Kelly Jo Minter of Nightmare on Elm Street 5, puppeteer Timothy Hoozing of Seed of Chucky, Sean Whalen of Idle Hands and Hatchet 3, director the late Wes Craven of Nightmare on Elm Street 3, New Nightmare, and Screams 1 through 4. And can BFX group of Robert Kurtzman, Greg Nicotero, and Howard Berger of everything, including Wishmaster, Nightmare, and Scream, are the three things I'll mention that I think are the coolest things that they worked on.
And then we cut to Ray.
Yeah.
In the hospital.
Outside his
Yippee.
room, a doctor and a detective named Thurston have a conversation about Ray. I will play the doctor, who is played by Michael Bryan French. Thurston, who Chris will be playing, is played by Michael P. Byrne of That Thing You Do and The Fan, alongside Horror Boy alums Richard Reel of Texas Chainsaw 3D and Hatchet, Thomas F. Duffy of Rubber, James McDonald of Texas Chainsaw 3D, Tuesday Night of Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and New Nightmare, Jack Black of I Know What You Did Last Summer, and Patty D. Arbinville, who was uncredited as the character Miss Shivers from I Know What You Did Last Summer, a character I don't remember existing. But considering she was in the literal last movie, I guess I'll mention that she's also in this movie. She's also in the same movie that Thurston is in.
Thurston says, he looks pretty beat up.
Yeah, but he seems certain his friend was killed out on the highway by someone named Ben Willis. He said the Willis guy had a hook on his hand and was driving a BMW. The doctor and Thurston walk away from the room, and Thurston says,
Look, there's no body. There's no other vehicle involved. He fell asleep at the wheel and he crashed his truck into an old guardrail. He got thrown a hell of a long way down into a ditch, and he's dang lucky.
he suffered severe head trauma.
Well, after he rests up, it'll probably all come back to him.
A nurse tells the doctor, Number 3 just flatlined. The doctor and Thurston head to the room and see Ray has left out the window. The nurse is played by the lady Ann Helsel.
Helsel.
Yeah, Helsel. We cut back to the island. Tyrell and Will head to the empty bar. The bartender, Nancy, asks, who talks to her the most in this scene? I think Tyrell, so I guess I'll be Nancy in this scene.
Alright, I'll be Nancy.
You want a drink?
Will replies, we didn't get all dressed up for nothing.
Oh, you're dressed up, Tyrell says. Alright, Will, come on. Check this out, man. We got a planter's punch, we got a Singapore sling, or how about a my mother obscenity tie?
Will says, my mother obscenity tie.
Nancy says, how about some ID? I'm kidding. Nancy is played by Jennifer Esposito of Dracula 2000, Master of Disguise, The Boys, and Mary, alongside Horror Boy alums Michael Landis of the Final Destination 2. I think. TF2. I think that was supposed to be FD2. Not T. I don't know what TF2 was supposed to be.
TF2.
TF2 is not a thing.
Team Fortress 2.
It's Final Destination. I'm almost certain. I remember the name. And Emily Mortimer of Scream 3. Will says,
The guy at the front desk said it would be quiet, not dead.
yeah, well, I guess he didn't tell you that this here is... Tyrell finished her sentence. The last day of the season. Yes, he told us.
So why are you still here?
It's none of your gosh dang business. Tyrell says, I think I smell man trouble. Nancy says, no, not anymore.
Did he dump you?
No, I shot him. What you boys wanted is a dark and stormy. A little Vernon's rum, a little ginger beer, and a splash of Tabasco. It's good. Trust me. We cut to the girls walking to the bar. Julie says, am I bad? I mean, he's really great, right? I'm kind of cute.
Carl says, yes, he is cute, and he has a crush on you, but
I miss Ray. I really do. I tried to call him.
But Julie, Ray made up his own mind. So that means you're free to make up yours. So for the next 48 hours, your smile is a frown turned upside down.
Oh, really? When the girls walk in, Tyrell says, oh, here comes my baby.
Hi, you like my outfit?
No, I love it. So what do you all think? It's a pretty cool bar, right?
Everyone starts to look the same once you've worked. What?
Everyone
Oh,
starts looking.
everyone starts to look the same once you've worked in one. Am I right, sister?
Got that right.
Will says to Julie, "You look beautiful."
Julie, instead of replying, introduced herself and Carla to Nancy. Nancy says, "Well, welcome to Tower Bay's most happening hotspot." Tyrell says, up in our room is gonna be the most. Oh, sorry, it was.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out what. Up in our room is gonna be the most happening hotspot.
Oh God.
Yeah. Nancy says, "For dark and stormies." They toast to a great weekend. Carla asks,
So what do you do for fun around?
"Try that again."
Huh?
Try that.
What do you do around here for fun?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nancy says, "Make fun of tourists, basically. Or I let them make fun of themselves." She gestures over to the karaoke machine. Woo! Julie is talked into / forced to do karaoke. Because, Jennifer Love Hewitt is a musician at this point in her career, so she had to make sure she sang in the movie. She sings "I Will Survive" by Gloria Gaynor. At around the middle of the song, she looks at the lyrics, and now instead of the lyrics, it says, "I still know what you did last summer." Ah! Julie starts to freak out and says, "It's him!"
Well, what do you mean?
Julie continues, "He did something to the screen. I swear to God, it's..." Her friends all try to ask what's wrong. Julie says, "Nothing," and leaves. I will say that there was a bunch of other dialogue in those scenes that was very, so what? And just a lot of repetitive stuff. And, also, I'm not going to, sing
Yeah.
"I Will Survive" for, the first half of the song like she does.
Very non-consequential
And it's
to
fine.
anything that happens to the movie.
I will say nothing about it is bad. It doesn't feel like it drags or anything. It just feels like, if I'm talking about it here, yeah, that was probably a 3-minute scene that I just condensed into 2 sentences.
Yeah.
And that's accurate. Back in her room, Julie sees a letter on the table. She walks over dramatically and opens it, and it says, "Surprise!" She screams and turns around, causing Will to drop the vase of roses he was bringing her. Julie says, "Oh my God!"
It's my fault.
"Well, I'm so sorry."
It's my fault. I shouldn't have. I didn't think.
"No, this is sweet. I'm sorry."
I scared you. I crossed the line.
"No, you scared me, but I'm a little on edge. Sorry."
You don't have to apologize. I'm the one, and I understand. I'm just gonna take a walk.
"Are you sure?" He picks up one of the roses, and says,
I just really like you a lot, and I want you to have a great time. I want you to be happy.
He leaves. We then hear what sounds like harmonica music from Carla and Tyrell's room. But when we cut to them, Carla is just jumping on the bed.
Yeah. For
Yeah.
really no reason in
Nope.
particular.
It's a scene where they talk a bit, and it's not funny or important to the plot. It's also another one of those scenes where it's very much, "I want to sleep with you," and I'm not going to do those lines with Chris. Sorry.
Yeah.
So we come back to the dock.
Mm-hmm.
Derek heads out to tie up the boats, but he stops when he hears a noise. He goes back to work before another noise is accompanied by Titus, who goes full Jack Black and does an impression of an alien mouth.
Derek says, "Gosh dang it, man. You scared the poop out of me."
"You're living your life in fear, bro. It's time for your passage into manhood."
What do you want, Titus?
"Okay, hear me out. There's a kick butt party on the mainland, and I'm saying we take the boat and get jiggy with it."
No.
"Oh, come on, man."
I gotta tie the boat. There's a storm coming, and then I'm going to bed.
"And that's it?"
That's all I got for today, man. Please, take the bake elsewhere.
"All right."
Be careful, please.
"Oh, poop. Listen, buddy. You need to take a chill pill."
Have a good time, bro.
Titus, as he's walking away, says, I will, buddy. Derek's foot gets pulled out from under him by the rope.
Ah!
He starts to pull himself up, but gets hook slashed by the fisherman. Ah!
No!
There's blood splattered on the side. That's all we see. Ah, so scary. Titus hears a noise and looks back, but doesn't see anything, so he just takes a puff of his joint and heads back to the hotel.
Yeah.
We, the audience, after he turns away, though, do see the fisherman. Oh, whoa.
No.
Whoa.
Scary.
We cut to Ray at a payphone. Oh, Ray stuff.
Payphones.
Yeah. He tries to call the hotel, but because they're so short-staffed, no one's there to answer. We cut to Olga going door to door to do some housekeeping, but she notices blood in her hands and finds Derek's body in her cart. The fisherman then opens the door to the room behind her, and he hook slashes her, and then picks her up by his hook and drags her into a room with a do not disturb tag, and a decent kill. Not like great, but it's kind of one of the better ones you're going to get in a movie like this. This is a very traditional slasher in the sense of not super inventive kills.
Yeah.
We cut to the
Pretty by the
jacuzzi.
book.
Sorry, what?
No, I was just saying pretty by the book.
Yeah, I thought you said killed by a hook. I was like, not wrong. That is.
Oh, that also.
Yeah,
A
pretty
by
by
the
the
book,
book.
hook, kill.
Getting killed by the hook. I'm a rapper, because I'm the greatest rapper alive.
I'm the greatest rapper alive.
No one gets that reference, Chris.
I'm the greatest rapper alive. Somebody will know.
Don't look that up. Don't look up those that name, those words we said right there, on Spotify. Don't do it. You will find one of the worst songs of all time. And by don't do it, I mean go do it. You'll enjoy your time.
Yeah.
It's kind of amazing how bad it is. Where was I? We're in a jacuzzi. Carla and Tyrell are talking music and making out. And they're interrupted by Titus. Titus says some Titus things, and then they get him to leave and start making out again.
Yeah.
Just to be interrupted by Will, who joins them in the jacuzzi after not taking the hint that he's being a real Blockers, starring John Cena.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of dialogue in that scene that none of it matters. The joke is, haha, Tyrell can't get his harmonica played with.
Yeah.
We'll go with that. We'll go with that as my description of it.
Uh-huh.
We cut to Julie, who after a shower hears a noise and goes to investigate it. But after not finding anything, she heads back to the bathroom. Her toothbrush is missing. That's strange. Oh, yeah, also, I forgot to mention it in the notes because it didn't feel like it was important there, but it does kind of come back later. In the jacuzzi scene, because, once again, missing items. Weird that I brought these up at the same time. Carla is missing a hair tie. Bum, bum. When she dries her hair, we see a figure move behind her in the mirror. That's what we call dramatic irony, folks. We know something and she doesn't.
Yeah, we do.
She hears another noise and heads back into her room. She hears another creak coming from the closet and opens it to find, nothing. Alright, that's fair. But she does
Just a
notice
closet.
blood dripping on the floor. Then Derek's body falls down, being hung by his neck. The fisherman's Jason now. He's setting up bodies in weird ways just so they get revealed.
Yeah.
Also, Michael does it too sometimes. But you get the point.
Yeah.
I feel like Jason is the most egregious because he has like the swing-in bodies. I don't think Michael ever did swing-in bodies that I can remember, at least in like the original one. Probably later because, but you get my point. The body falls in, and it's like one of those ones where you're like, oh, the killer, what was he holding him up? I don't get it. I don't need to get it. It's a movie. I'll just move on.
Yeah.
I don't know how he did it, but he did it. She screams and runs out to the jacuzzi and says, Will, it's happening again!
What? What happened?
We cut to everyone, including Mr. Brooks, opening the closet to find nothing. Mr. Brooks says.
I do not find this at all funny.
There was a body in there, I swear!
Julie said you were tired. Maybe you were dreaming.
Julie says, No, I wasn't dreaming.
I knew you people were going to be trouble. I knew it the moment I laid eyes on you.
No, you listen to me. He's here.
Who? Who is here?
Nancy at the door asks, "Hey, what's going on?" Tyrell says, "I don't know. Julie's talking about she saw some dead guy in the closet, but all we see is bathrobes." Nancy says, "Cool." Julie says, "You think it's funny?" "Gosh dang it, Tyrell. I'm not going crazy. He was in there." Tyrell says, "Yeah? Then where is he now, Julie? Huh? Where's the dead guy?"
Carla says, "Julie, think about it. Okay, what did you actually see?"
Julie replies, "I saw the dockhand guy hanging by his neck in there."
Mr. Brooks says, "All right, look. In the morning, we'll talk to Derek, the dockhand guy. We'll put this whole thing to rest. In the meantime, let's slow down on the darkened stories and get some sleep."
Nancy says, "Don't look at me." Julie says, "No, I want off this island." Mr. Brooks turns to her, giving her a weird look that is just, it works, but I don't know how to explain what he's doing. Like, it's like, because he's also doing this weird thing with his mouth, like the whole movie. Yeah. He looks at her and says,
"That's not possible. I'm afraid the last ferry left a couple of hours ago, and there won't be another one for a few days. We have a storm coming."
Julie says, "Fine, then I'll call the mainland and get a boat."
Mr. Brooks grabs her hand and says, "The phones went down a few minutes ago."
Julie checks anyway, and when she sees that they are down, she says, "It's dead."
Duh. Now listen up. The next couple of days are going to be rough, but we'll make it. Carla asks, "What about a radio?" Mr. Brooks says, "Emergencies only." Carla asks, "What the hell would you call this?" Mr. Brooks responds, "I would call this 4 spoiled city kids who wouldn't know a hurricane of it if it blew up their butt. Look, this is not a drill. All we can do now is batten down and write it out. If it gets really bad, we have a storm shelter. Good night."
We then have a shot of birds that Chris thinks is laughably bad, but honestly, I still can't see the problem with the shot. I looked at it and tried to see it, and I don't even really notice it looking that bad to me.
Yeah, it's a outside or a exterior shot of the place, and there's like birds flying, and their wings don't move, but they move through the air. It's pretty good.
I watched it multiple times, did not even notice anything with it that looked off to me, so you might not even notice it. But Chris has that special type of autism where that was what he noticed.
Yep, absolutely. Well, it was, the only thing that was moving in the frame, and so my attention was drawn to it.
We cut to Estes in his quarters where he is repeating, "Pain of the past, fear of the future, blood of the young," as he does some sort of voodoo ritual with Julie's missing toothbrush.
Ah!
We cut to Titus, who's talking to his weed farm set and says, "Yeah, that's my babies. Y'all growed up good. Y'all growed up real good." He sits down to partake in some of his crop yields. He can't find his lighter, and then the fisherman walks in. Titus gulps and asks, "Can I help you?" The fisherman stabs his hook into Titus's hand. Titus starts to freak out, and the fisherman kind of looks over at a couple different options, and you see Titus no, not that, no, definitely not that. And then he settles on some hedge clippers and goes full cropsy and stabs Titus in the chest, killing him.
Yeah.
That's a reference to The Burning. Written by notable horrible human being Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
Yeah. We cut to Ray, who at a pawn shop sells his engagement ring for either just a gun or a gun and $300. I can't tell how the transaction actually went at the end of it.
I think it was just a gun and bullets.
Okay. The pawn shop owner is played by Mark Boone Jr. of 30 Days a Night, Memento, Too Fast, Too Furious, Batman Begins, and Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 alongside Horror Boy alums Rob Zombie, Tyler Mane, Danielle Harris, Daniel Roebuck, Caroline Williams, Richard Reel, the late Margot Kidder, Sean Whalen, Mark Christopher Lawrence, Diane Ayala Golden, Dwayne Whitaker, Justin Wellborn, makeup artist Brian Ray, makeup artist Michael Deek, makeup artist Jake McKinnon, makeup artist Wayne Toth, and National Treasure Brad Dourif. I cannot wait until this summer where I never have to tell you who all was in a Halloween movie.
Yeah.
At this point, though, I am stuck doing it until we get to those movies. This is where I'm going to announce that we are actually starting our Halloween coverage with the remakes. We're not doing it in chronological release order. I'm kidding. We're not. It was a joke just to say I could get it over with. But no. And when we get to Halloween 4 and Danielle Harris is there, I won't have to mention this because she's already been in the movie. So she'll just be Horror Boy alum Danielle Harris.
Yeah.
But yeah. So where was I? Yeah, there it is. Halloween 2. We cut to Carla, Tyrell, Will, and Julie all waking up the next morning, all sharing one bed. There was kind of like a funny shot that I didn't even write down, but it's funny. Just like when they wake up, Will's hand is like on Tyrell's face, like caressing him.
Yeah.
And so Tyrell pushes him off in the morning, and Tyrell says, "Baby, I have to say this is bull poop. This ain't the romantic weekend I had in mind."
Carla says, "Hey, Jules, get any sleep?"
Julie replies while looking out the window. "Yeah, some," Tyrell says. "Well, wow, look at that. Another beautiful day in paradise, with Julie as our tour director. Miss Psychotic episode. Hey, Julie, see any dead bodies out there? Any fresh kill?"
Carla says, "Shut up, Ty."
Tyrell does not shut up. "How about Freddy or Jason or somebody?"
Will says, "Why don't you leave her alone, man?"
"'Cause I'm just telling y'all what everybody in this room is thinking. It's bad enough getting rained out without having to hold her hand the whole dang time."
Yeah, but you don't have to be a butthole about it.
Julie says, "No, it's okay. It's okay. He doesn't believe me, you know? That's his right. I'm starting to think I'm crazy too."
Carla says, "Julie, nobody thinks you're going crazy, okay?"
Tyrell says, "I do."
Carla continues, "You know what? Why don't you guys go find yourself something to do?"
Tyrell says, "Baby, I don't want to do nothing with him. I want to do something with you."
Carla says, "Please." She turns to
Julie
Julie and continues, "Why don't we go to the gym and work off some of that stress? Nobody thinks you're crazy."
We cut to the guys outside in the rain. Tyrell says, "Look, this is what we need to do. We need to find Stoner Boy, make his stupid butt hook us up with some ping pong paddles or some pool sticks."
Will says, "You know what? The greenhouse effect has caused the Gulf Stream to shift. You know, almost every meteorological expert expects a dramatic increase in tropical depression, which causes hurricanes and massive coastal flooding. It wouldn't take much of a storm surge to wipe us right off this island."
Hey, shut up, okay? Shut up. We see Estes looking out the window at them. Bum, bum, bum. We cut to the girls arriving at the gym.
Carla says, "This is a nice gym."
She starts kicking the punching bag, and Julie says, "Wow, nice move."
Carla says, "Yeah, I'm going to give your fisherman some of this. See how he likes it."
Julie starts to use the stair stepper, but stops pretty quickly.
Carla says, "Oh, poor baby. You know what, Julie? Got a better idea. You're not leaving this island until you get a tan. Come on."
They head to the tanning room. Julie says, "Wow, cancer in a box."
And she's not wrong.
No, not at all.
Carla says, "Nah, this is the safe zone.
Nope.
Come on, Julie. It's better than a day at the beach, girl."
She walks over and starts the tanning bed and continues.
"Here we go. With a little photosynthesis, you will feel like a new..."
Julie says, "Houseplant?"
"Exactly. Bye."
Carla leaves. Julie strips down to her swimsuit in a lingering panning shot before getting on the tanning bed. Yay, creepy people make movies. I mean, like, she is of age, and, like, so it's fine, but it's just, it's one of those shots where it's like, this is egregious.
Yeah,
you
it is
didn't
pretty
just
egregious.
stay, it's not like you just had a shot of her, like, getting undressed. They
No,
panned down. Yeah. It's like, you could
Really
have just
took their
had the
time.
shot of it and been like, oh, hey, look, pretty girl getting ready to tan. But no, they went, hey, look, pretty girl's chest,
Strip it
pretty
down.
girl's tummy, pretty girl's butt,
Die.
pretty girl's leg. It's like I read a movie.
Yeah, I get it.
I get it's Jennifer
She
Love
is
Hewitt.
attractive.
I understand, but can we not be that egregious with it?
Yeah.
No, we cannot. We will be that egregious. We cut to the guys walking to go find Titus. They might say something. It doesn't even matter. We cut back to Carla in the gym. She hears a noise and follows it into the laundry room and says,
Dryer. Oh, gee, Carla. That'll break the machine.
"You're still talking."
Dang. Oh, yeah.
That was a quote within a quote, so that's why it's got the one.
Yeah.
Do you not know how writing
Dang.
works, Chris?
How many pairs is in there?
She
opens
opens
the
the
dryer.
dryer and finds the maid Olga's body. She lets out a big scream. We cut to the boys finding the Titus's bloody corpse. Ah!
Ah!
We then cut back to Julie, who's listening to music and doesn't hear the fisherman enter the room. He zip ties the tanning bed closed, cranks it to the max setting, and leaves her trapped.
Which clearly he hasn't watched Final Destination 3.
Well, that came out years after this, so actually they copied this.
Yeah, clearly he hasn't watched Final
And also
Destination
that,
3.
but it worked in that movie and didn't in this movie. So actually, if you
Yeah,
watch that
exactly.
movie, that's why he would have done it. That's why he tried it, but it actually
Well,
didn't work for him.
Yeah, well, he didn't take enough notes from Final Destination.
well, yeah,
you
he
gotta put water on the temp controller
Yeah,
or whatever.
and then they explode, which is not how the light bulb would work like that. But
No,
But hey,
but yeah,
it looked cool, and that's all that matters. She knows she's trapped and starts screaming for help. Not so fun fact. Jennifer Love Hewitt actually passed out while filming the scene due to how hot it was on set and how little she had eaten that day, worried about how she would look in the bikini.
Oh,
Yeah. Thankfully, her mom was on set and noticed she passed out, so no long-term damage done, but yeah.
good.
But yeah. Which is just, that speaks to a whole other, like, conversation that neither of us are the ones to have, but, like,
Nope.
Come on, society, really? We're gonna make a beautiful girl feel like she has to not eat because she's gonna film a scene? Like, that sucks.
Yeah. Well, it does.
Yeah. The guys hear her and run in her direction. They stop to free Carla from the locked laundry room. They all head to Julie. Tyrell uses a weight to break the handle and free her. Julie says, "I'm not crazy. I told you I was not crazy. He's here. We better get a radio and call for help." She sounds a little crazy to me, honestly, the way she's yelling it.
Yeah. And Carla says, "Man, this classifies as an exhibiting emergency.
Try that one more time.
Man, this classifies as an obscening emergency.
Try saying
Man, this
obscenity one more time. You have messed it up twice.
Man, this classifies as an obscenity emergency."
We're gonna move on, but
It's
you
almost
still...
like the word obscenity was never meant to be uttered by the human mouth.
No, but like, if you know how to say obscenity, you screwed up the word obscenity the first two times, Chris. Not the obscenity ing. It wasn't like you screwed up at the ing. You couldn't say obscenity the first two times.
Obscenity.
Obscenity is a word, and you couldn't get that part of it out. They head to the manager's office and find Brooks dead with a knife in his head, the radio destroyed, and "I still know" written in blood on the wall. Ah!
Ah, that's the name of the movie.
Well, that's the beginning of the name of the movie.
Yeah. It's the first half.
Yeah. No, it's a long movie title. It isn't.
It's the first third.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. Excuse me. But yeah, so that's that scene.
Uh-huh.
They killed off our boy without even letting us see his death. I mean, we did get to see the aftermath, which was pretty brutal, so I'll accept it, but I want to see a kill scene.
You
I
don't
know.
get that.
Julie heads to the docks, followed by everyone else. Carla says,
Where are the boats? There were boats here.
Ty replies, "They were cut loose."
We'll ask. Julie, you want to tell us what the obscenity is going on?
Julie replies, "We're all gonna die. He's gonna kill us one by one." Tyrell says, "Who?" Julie says, "Ben Willis." Tyrell says, "Oh, obscenity."
Carla says, Julie, stop that poop, alright? Ben Willis is dead. You killed him, remember?
Julie says, "They never found the body." Dramatic music starts playing, and Julie continues. 2 summers ago, we lied to the authorities. We hit Ben Willis with our car, and we threw the body in the water to cover it up. Only, he didn't die. He killed Barry and Helen last July 4th. That's right, July 4th, Chris Graham. Come on, don't you remember that it was on July 4th? Sorry, wait,
No.
actually I don't know if those parts were there. She says, I swear to God, I thought Ray and I killed him, but we didn't. Tyrell says, get the obscenity out of here. Julie says, no, you listen to me. He's back to finish it up. Tyrell says, Julie, we're in the middle of nowhere. There's dead bodies piling up all over the place, and as far as I can see, there's only one guy missing.
Will says, the porter. What's his name?
Tyrell says, Estes. That's exactly who it is. I'm telling you, that obscenity-er knows something. Now, we can sit here like buttholes and wait for him to pick us off, or we can go find him first. Julie says, it's not him. Tyrell says, obscenity that. We gotta do something.
Will says, I'm with him.
Tyrell grabs a crowbar and yells, come on!
Carla says, Julie, I can't believe you. How can you not tell me the whole story? I'm your best friend.
Julie says, I just wanted it to be over. I didn't want to involve anybody else.
Carla says, well, it's too late for that now.
She turns to follow Tyrell and Will. Julie reluctantly follows. We cut to Ray on a bus to Miami. He takes some pills and is judged by an old lady. In this episode of Ray Stuff. Back to your regularly scheduled program on Tower Bay Island. At Estes' quarters, Tyrell says, hey Estes, you sick, fatherless child. You in here? Huh? You hear me? Sick. He shoves stuff off of Estes' table.
Will says, he's not here, man.
Some crazy poop in here, man. He finds a monkey skull and continues. Oh yeah, no doubt. This is our obscenity killer. This is our obscenity guy. There's a monkey skull here, which means he's definitely killed a human. Wait,
Yeah,
hold up.
definitely exactly correlative.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Julie finds the voodoo cabinet with an item of each of theirs in it. I believe it's her toothbrush, Carla's hair tie, and Tyrell's missing chain that we never even knew he was missing.
Yeah.
And that's it. Maybe it's just because we cut away before we can see what else might have been there. Yeah, it must
maybe
be that one.
Probably.
Yeah.
And then Tyrell says,
Does he?
no.
No, I don't think he does.
We cut back to them in the main building.
Yeah.
And then Tyrell says,
All right. We gotta find flashlights, torches, guns, whatever the obscenity they got on the island, so we can get off. Will asks.
wait, what if he's down there collecting body parts or something?
Let's just get the obscenity out of here. Once in the
What's
lobby.
in the lobby? Will says, you guys should just wait here. Carla asks, no, why can't we come with you?
Tyrell responds, 'Cause it's safer here, okay? Alright? We'll just be a second. The guys head to the kitchen to look for some weapons. In the lobby, Julie sees a globe spinning and walks over to it. The power goes out. Julie looks at the globe and sees Brazil. Sees the capital is Brasilia. Estes stands up from behind her and says, Brasilia.
Carla yells, Julie, watch out!
The guys start to rush back. Estes continues, that's the capital of Brazil, not Rio. The guys run up and shove Estes up against the wall. Julie says, no, you guys, leave him alone. Tyrell says, what are you talking about? This is the killer. Estes says, no.
Will says, bull poop, we've seen the voodoo stuff.
Estes says, no, I found the bodies this morning. I tried to use the radio, but he had already destroyed it. Julie says, leave him alone, I believe him.
Carla says, come on, Julie, you saw his room.
Estes says, I haven't hurt anyone. I stole those things to help you, to protect you. Julie says, He could have easily killed me, but he didn't. We didn't even answer the radio question right. The whole thing was a setup.
Carlos says, what the obscenity are you talking about?
Rio isn't the capital of Brazil. Sorry, wrong answer. We lose. Tyrell asks. So, then where is he, huh? Where is this Ben Willis guy, huh? I don't know. You never obscenitying no. I mean, what are we supposed to... What? Sorry. I mean, what? Are we supposed to trust you, huh? How do we know you ain't the one who set this whole thing up? How do we know you're not? I know who you're talking about. He used to work here in the hotel. Lately, I've seen him out in the woods by the orchard. If you like, I can show you.
Will asks, well, how do we know he's not setting us up?
Where else are you gonna go?
Carlos says, all I know is I'm not staying here.
Julie says, we're gonna be better off in the open, and if we stick together, maybe we can kill this butthole for good. Tyrell says, show us. We cut to Ray showing up to the ferry captain, Thurston's place. Not Thurston. It's Pearson or something. Thurston is the cop.
It's the detective,
Yeah, it's
right?
Pearson, I think. But I wrote the wrong name. Sorry. Ray at gunpoint demands Pearson to let him take his boat out to the island. And I guess it works. Now we cut back to the island. Now outside, Estes says, he worked here for many years. Raised a family. Pretty wife. 2 little ones. A boy and a girl. One day the wife went missing. Maid found blood all over the honeymoon suite. Room 201. Eventually, they found the body. Pieces of it, at least. People say she was cheating on him. People say he would beat her. People say a lot of things. He disappeared. The children, too. Now he's back. Pause. Pause. What the heck, movie? Ben Willis, yes, did kill people. Not great. But it was in revenge for his daughter who died. Not just sick wife killer who chops up his wife.
Yeah.
He was a revenge killer who, yes, killed some innocent people completely just because they were in his way. So he's not a nice guy. But he is not a killing his wife.
He was always crazy.
He was always evil. He killed his wife when his kids were children and waited till they both were old to then start killing again because his daughter died.
Yeah.
No, this is bullcrap. It makes no sense. It's stupid. Now Carlos says,
Julie, be careful.
Julie, walking towards something we haven't seen yet, says, I've got to see. We see it's a graveyard. There's a grave for Susan and Sarah Willis. There's also an open grave marked with either spray paint or blood. Can't tell. It's red. Kind of looks more like spray paint, but I don't know if it's supposed to be blood. I'm not sure. That says, Julie James. Pum pum pum. Julie asks, what's today's date?
Carla says, July 4th.
You sure, Chris? I'm pretty sure this doesn't take place on July 4th.
July 6th, actually.
Oh, thank you, Chris.
What
That makes more sense. Because this isn't a July 4th movie.
No, barely. One might say.
Jarrett, this movie I would agree. Julie says, I'm not gonna die on this island. She throws her arms out, and the camera goes above her, reminiscent of the street scene from the first movie, and she continues, do you hear me? If you want me, Ben, come and get me. I'm right here. But my grave stays empty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Carla says, Julie, this is crazy, alright? The phone lines are down and the boats are gone and there's no way off this island.
Yeah? Then we fight.
Will asks, where did Estes go? Carl asks, why, Will? He can't help us anyway. Will says, he's probably the only one who can. I'll find him.
Tyrell says, I'm going with you.
Carl asks, are you crazy? You're gonna leave us here by ourselves. Will says, it's okay. He couldn't have gone far. I'll catch up with you guys later.
And he runs off alone as the girls yell for him not to. We stay with the girls and Tyrell, who are now in the kitchen. Excuse me. They find the knives. Tyrell says, what I really need is a gun, not a knife. He turns around and sees Carla's weapons of choice and says, "What are you going to do with those? You going to butter him? You going to clean vegetables?" He gives her a steak knife instead. Tyrell sees Julie zoning out, staring at a knife, and says, "Pope, hey, are you okay? We're going to get this obscenity here, right?" Julie nods. Tyrell continues, "Let's head to the pantry."
Carla asks, "Why? Is that a good place to hide?"
Tyrell replies, "I don't know. I'm just obscenity and hungry." We cut to Will, running up on Estes as he's pulling a boat to the water.
Will asks, "Hey, Estes, where did you go? What the obscenity, man? You said you were going to help us. You should have told us you got a boat."
Estes says, "We're not going anywhere," and he swings an oar at Will's head. We cut back to the girls and Tyrell entering the pantry. They hear a noise and open the freezer door. Out runs a rat.
Ah!
It was just a rat. It was fine, guys. But then Nancy pops out and hits Tyrell on the head with a rolling pin. We get a quick episode of Ray Stuff where he's on a boat. And
Ray on a boat.
Oh, sorry, wait, no. He does do one little kind of important thing. He uses the radio to request emergency assistance to the island, but we don't hear if he gets a response. Bum, bum. Back to the kitchen.
Yeah.
Julie says, "So, that's where the flashlights were?" Nancy says, "Look, I'm sorry, but you could have been the ones doing this." Tyrell says, "And so could you, crazy bad woman." And Chris, take over Nancy, because I don't want to just talk to myself for like a scene.
Crazy bad woman.
Hey, you.
And hey, you're the one that broke into my hiding place.
Tyrell says, "I'm sorry. I must have missed the sign."
Excuse me, but this place didn't have a murder rate until you people showed up. I've never even seen a dead body before.
Julie says, "Yeah, get used to it."
Who's doing this?
Here we go. Look, don't even get her started, alright? It's a long, obscenity-up story, and you probably wouldn't believe a word of it anyway. All I know is that this is the worst vacation of my whole life. I'm tired, I'm hungry, I'm obscenitying, in the mood to play harmonica, and personally, I haven't seen one gosh dang psycho killer. As he finishes the sentence, the fisherman shows up behind him and hooks him through the throat. Yeah.
No. Yeah, it's fine.
It was a fun little kill, though. It was a fun, like, it's kind of obvious, but it's also not, like, it's like, oh, okay, cool, that's a fun way to, like, it's like the perfect, like, dialogue setup of, like, I don't even think the killer's here. Oh, I'm dead.
Yeah.
And to be fair,
fun.
He was killed from behind. He still never saw the killer.
It's true.
He died not knowing if there was a psycho killer. Yeah, so the girls run away.
Girls run out of the kitchen.
Yeah, they go, ah. I'm pretty sure they go, ah. That's what they say exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Nancy says,
"I know where to hide."
As they keep running away from, we see the fisherman is following behind them. They head up to the attic. The last one up is Carla, who has the fisherman trying to hook her feet. But they're able to lock the door and start to cross over the beams. The fisherman's hook bursts through the door to the attic. This startles Carla, and she falls off the beam and gets her leg caught in the ceiling.
Yeah.
This gives the fisherman enough time to get in the attic with them. Carla is helped by Nancy out of the ceiling. Julie sees the fisherman's face and sees it's Ben Willis.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I will refer to him as Ben going forward just because it's easier than writing out the fisherman every time. And now that's confirmed because we see his face. Even though later there is a shot where it feels like a reveal where they're like, look, the time where he actually fully takes it off and you're like, I mean, we saw like over half his face in the attic.
Uh-huh.
And she goes, you're back or something like that. Like, you know, it's confirmed before that, but there is still the reveal scene because don't worry. Ben grabs Carla and they fall through the two-way mirror that's over Julie's bed. Ew. Ben Willis was staring at her, or someone else was staring at someone, I guess, hypothetically, at a different time. Probably wasn't Ben who installed this. This just means this is a weird place where that's a thing that they watch the honeymoon. That's really, actually, I'm going to move on. I don't want to touch that.
Yeah.
No, I'm moving on. Carla runs out of the building and finds herself on the top of a greenhouse. Julie goes to help Carla to Nancy's protest. Carla looks around and doesn't see Ben.
Huh.
She tries to make her way across the greenhouse, but the glass gives way and she falls to a table and then to the ground below. And a fun stunt. It was a fun little fall stunt. Yeah. She tries to make her way across the greenhouse, but I already read that. Sorry. Julie and Nancy are on the outside of the greenhouse looking in at Carla. It's locked, and Nancy is going through her keys, trying to find the right one. Ben enters the greenhouse from the opposite side and is walking towards Carla.
Menacingly!
He just like did a little jog. He could have got it, but he chooses to walk.
Yeah, he really walks as slow as he physically can.
Nancy is taking too long, so Julie grabs the fire axe and breaks a hole in the window that Carla crawls through just in time to not get got by Ben. She does get her like foot caught, but that's it.
Yeah.
The girls run away, heading to the storm shelter. Inside, Nancy looks for the emergency power. Carla is freaking out, and Julie tells her, "Carla, just grab a hold of my hand."
Hey, Julie.
Carla, just grab a hold of my hand.
I am holding your hand.
Julie turns to her and says, "No, you're not." Nancy finds the power switch, and the girls see she's actually holding Olga's corpse's hand. They scream, "Ah!" and discover that all the bodies were moved into there. Ah! He really is Jason now.
Yeah, truly.
The door opens and a shadowy figure enters, but it's just Will. Oh, okay.
You guys okay?
Julie says, "Oh my God, it's Will!"
Come on, let's get out of here.
They follow him out, and Will says,
Everything's gonna be okay. Let's just get inside.
Julie asks, "Did you get help? What happened?"
Estes attacked me.
What? Wait, you think he's a part of this?
I don't know.
Your stomach. You're hurt.
I'll be okay. Let's just get inside. Nancy says. Wait a minute. I don't think we should go inside. Will says. Look, the last time I saw the slicker guy was on the beach. I think we're safe, okay?
Inside, Julie says, "You're bleeding to death. We need to find a first aid kit." Don't laugh at the fact that for some reason I typed blessing to death.
Blessing to death.
Nancy says,
I
think there's one in the lobby. Julie says, "Okay, just sit here."
Will says, don't worry, he's gone. Just go. It will be okay.
Nancy and Carla head to the lobby. Julie says, "Listen, you're gonna be okay, alright? There's blood everywhere. I can't find a wound."
It's because it's not my blood.
What?
Will looks her in the eyes and says, It's not my blood, Julie.
Lost my place.
Julie backs up and smiles and continues. What's your favorite radio station, Julie? He lurches forward and grabs her and says, Come on, Julie. What's your favorite radio station? 96.7. It's time for you to contemplate the ultimate quickie getaway.
He stops smiling suddenly and pulls her screaming back outside. We cut to Nancy and Carla. Nancy grabs the first aid kit and hands it to Carla, who drops it and screams.
Ah!
Nancy and the camera to reveal Estes standing behind her with, I think, a harpoon. I did see someone call it a fire poker, but due to the way the handle looks, it does not look like a fire poker.
Definitely looks more like a harpoon. Yeah.
Sticking out of his chest. He falls over on top of Nancy. Carla falls down and scoots away as Ben comes in. He pushes the harpoon further through Estes, impaling Nancy. And once again, a kind of fun kill. I like that. The kill for Nancy, not so much the Estes kill. He was pretty much killed off screen. But like,
off screen? Yeah.
I like the innovativeness of like he dead body him, fell on her, and then he pushed it through further to kill her. It's not like a super graphic kill or anything. I just think it's a slightly cool kill. Which, is the most you're going to get in this movie.
Yeah.
Carla gets up to run away. Ben swipes her at her with his hook, and she falls back through a bookshelf to never be seen again until she's alive.
Yeah, until she's perfectly fine at the end of the movie.
Ben chooses not to kill her for some reason.
Yeah.
We cut to Will, dragging Julie outside. He says,
Look at the bright side, Jules. We finally get to spend some quality time together.
"Why are you doing this to me?"
Me. It's always about you. I'm having bad dreams. I can't sleep. I'm not doing well in school. I am having trouble with my boyfriend.
I trusted you.
Oh, you are so much like the rest of them. You never take responsibility for anything you do. You think you can get away with murder.
Julie pulls out a knife and cuts Will's arm and tries to get away from him. He grabs her arm and throws the knife down and says,
What did you do that for? You're a bad woman.
he punches her in the gut and drags her to the graveyard. Julie says, just tell me why.
Why? Come on, Jules. Think about it. You'll get it. Will Benson, Ben's son. Hi, Dad.
Julie turns around to see Ben. He grabs Julie and says, I guess I'll do it now. Hush now. No more screaming. No more running. It's time to die. He lifts his hook to stab her and Ray yells out,
Let her go.
he points his gun at Ben. Will says,
You gotta be pooping me.
Ben asks, what are you gonna do, boy? Call us names?
Ray says, Let her go now.
Think about it, boy. You're no killer. That's my job. You don't have it in you. Ray pulls the trigger and nothing happens.
Ah!
Will runs over and tackles Ray to the ground, causing Ray to drop the gun. Julie bites Ben's hand to escape his grasp. He punches her to the ground. Will and Ray have a fist fight. Then Ray seems to have the upper hand until Will hits him with a running clothesline. Takes his head off with a lariat. Will starts kicking Ray and says,
Sure did miss you down here, Ray. It's too bad. We could have been friends. I mean, really, man. I would have shared her with you.
ew.
Yeah.
Will grabs Ray by the collar and starts punching him, saying,
Come on, Ray. Stay with me. You see that? Now I want you to think about all the things we were going to do to her. You want him, Dad?
stand him up. Will picks up Ray. Ben runs towards them. Ray punches Will at the last second and moves out of the way, so Ben hooks his own son in the chest. Will falls over dead, and Ben lets out a scream, ah! and raises his hook towards Ray, but is shot by Julie 8 times before falling back into the grave, which would mean the gun would have had a 9-chamber barrel, which there are guns like that, but I'm no gun expert, and I feel like that's not the norm, and by looking at the gun, it definitely doesn't look like
especially
one.
looking at a snub-nosed revolver, which typically has 6 shots
But
in
there
a
were
barrel.
9 shots, because there was 1 blank and 8. Julie shot him 8 times! Not 6 times, and not the 5, which was the max she should have been able to shoot him.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he's now fallen into the hole, the grave, if you will. And we find out, we cut to the next morning. It's sunny out, and the Coast Guard arrives. And we find out Carla's alive! Yay, Carla, yay.
Maybe.
I don't know why. I mean, not that I need her to die, but just, I don't understand why Ben chose to let her live. Because it's not like she really even got away. He hit her back. She should have been prone. It should have been a real easy kill. And he was like, she fell through a bookshelf. She's dead. It's like, is she dead? I don't know if that's what kills people these days. That's how I killed my wife. I hit her through a bookshelf. And that was enough. But yeah, we cut to an unstated time in the future, but for the sake of plot, we'll say next summer, because that's just what it should have been said, but it's not for some reason. It doesn't say that on the screen. Just, we're there, it's the future. Because Julie arrives home to her and Ray's new house they bought. Julie hears a noise and gets out of bed, walking past Ray brushing his teeth. We see Ray's the door to the bathroom close. She finds an open window and closes it, but doesn't see the muddy footprints on the floor.
Ah!
She heads back to her room and dramatically looks at her closet. Doesn't go over to it, though. And then she looks over at her giant stuffed bear, which is rocking on its own. But don't worry, he's not over there. I don't know how it's rocking on its own. Because he's under the bed, and Ben grabs her feet and pulls her under the bed. And credits. And that's probably didn't happen. That was probably also another dream. Because, he was shot 8 times. So he should be dead this time.
And then fell into a grave that was filled with mud and presumably all the way up to the brim with mud and water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I assume didn't happen, and that's fine. You can have ending nightmare scenes, but hey, guess what? We'll never know if this is the same or not, because that's the last time you'll ever see Julie James.
Yay.
Yeah. So my thoughts on this movie is, it's fun. It's not good. It is not a good movie. I can list you off 50 reasons why this movie is not good, but I had fun. I think they got a lot of really fun, like, character actors to fill out the random little roles. You got Jack Black being Jack Black, which, hey, if you don't like that, you're not going to like his character. But if you do like Jack Black, you're going to like his character. And then you got Jeffrey Combs being Jeffrey Combs, like, killing his role. Like, there's a lot of really good things about this movie character-wise. The dialogue's pretty rough at times. There's the really weird reactions from Jennifer Love Hewitt throughout the whole movie that shouldn't add to it, but do add to the movie. I enjoy this movie. It's not good, but it's a fun time if you like slasher films.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts. That's it. That's all I got.
I mean, yeah, I had pretty similar thoughts. It's a pretty fun movie. It is very goofy, but it is not good. But it is a fun enough time.
Yeah.
If you're not a huge slasher fan, this movie is probably not going to be for you at all.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Tune in next week probably still next week to find out if we like the movie that comes after at all.
Yeah, maybe it'll be.
It's not likely.
Yeah, the plot sounds terrible. I've only heard bad things about it, but hey, I'd only ever heard bad things about movies like Jason X, and I loved it. So maybe this will be the Jason X of the I Know What You Did Last Summer franchise. When next week we talk about I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer.
Right.
Oh, wait, what's that? I'm getting word in my earpiece. Oh, the podcast is over. Thank you for tuning into episode 79. We did it. That was the goal. 79 episodes, and we're out of here. No. We'll be back next week with I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer. Not yet. Sorry. I was about to just go. I was so just dejected from thinking about having to watch that movie. But no, first I'll let you know. Hey, did you like this podcast? Well, you should leave a 5-star review on whatever podcast app you use. Spotify? Are you a Spotify person? Are you one of the 9% of our audience in the United Kingdom? Are you part of the 2% audience in India? Are you part of the less than 1% in Estonia? I don't know. But hey, we have those statistics for some reason. I don't know why people in Estonia once listened to our podcast, probably, but they did, which is crazy.
Yeah, it sure is.
And Albania, and like Austria, and Australia, and tons of other countries. Germany, I think, is the other 2%. 85% America, because that makes sense. But yeah, if you're on Spotify, I get to know where you're from. Eventually, if there's enough of you and you change the number. So if you live in a different country, tell your friends about this podcast so I can get that country to move up in the percentage of our listeners. Or just, go over to youtube.com/@horrorboys and comment where you're from, and I'll read it and be like, whoa, cool. And that'll be the exact response I give to anyone who tells me what country they're from is, whoa, cool. Yeah. Austin.
There you go.
Yeah, so if you want to, whoa, cool, on your YouTube comment, tell me where you're from.
Woohoo.
Yeah. Also, if you want to support us directly, patreon.com/horrorboys, where you get this podcast early. Sometimes like 12 hours, sometimes like 20, sometimes
a few days.
4 days. But always at least like 12. It's been hard to get things done lately. Oopsie. But yeah, I've been Austin, joined by Chris as always, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.